Mag music.
Keep the noise levels up.
Want to make sure he knows we're coming, or she.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if she's got some cubs, that's when you really got to work.
Yeah. You know what my kids asked me? They said, you've got to ask the president, does anything scare him?
You know, well, when Michelle's mad, I get worried. There's a certain look that she can give me that tells me.
That's your survival instinct.
Tell me, well, when Michelle's mad, when Michelle's mad.
That the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
And hold hands. And with my husband Michael, and hold hands. And hold hands. And with my husband Michael, and hold hands.
With your guests and men and women of the finest military in the world. And most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah, Michael and I all.
Michael and I.
Are these the real parents of Obama's daughters? Are these the parents of Obama's daughters, Malia and Sasha Obama? Take a look at this. This is Anita Blanchard and her husband, Martin Nesbitt. According to the New York Times, they are close family friends of the Obamas through Michelle Obama's brother, Green Arrow, Craig Robinson. There they are at the bottom, Anita Blanchard and Marty Nesbitt. Marty Nesbitt is head of the Obama Foundation. He's the chairman. Here's Martin Nesbitt speaking with Rahm Emanuel. Here's Martin Nesbitt with Valerie Jarrett and Obama. Here's Martin Nesbitt on Air Force One with Michelle Obama. Where are they headed? Well, maybe to Hawaii. There's Obama and Anita Blanchard, the wife, in Hawaii on a family vacation. Yellow shirt, that's Martin Nesbitt. Polka dot dress, that's his wife, Anita Blanchard. They travel with the Obamas to Hawaii. They are old friends of the family. What else do we notice about Martin Nesbitt? Well, he looks exactly like Malia Obama. They look very similar. They look very similar. Could this be Malia Obama's father? Could his wife, the resemblance is even closer to Sasha. Anita Blanchard looks like Sasha Obama. Looks like the other Obama daughter. Now, when bloggers went digging for baby photos of the Obama daughters, they had trouble finding anything. They Found a couple things, but when we zoom in on this photo, what do we find? Blue areas are sloppy Photoshop work. I mean, it looks like it was like a cut and paste job. It's really sloppy. Now, then they tried to find birth records of the Obama daughters. They went looking for the birth doctor who delivered them. Guess who delivered the Obama daughters? That's right, Dr. Anita Blanchard, the wife of Marty Nesbitt, delivered the Obama daughters. Hat tip, Fellowship of the Minds. Both Obama daughters delivered by their parents' friend, Dr. Anita Blanchard, at University of Chicago Medical Center. So this woman on the left, the family friend who looks like the daughter, delivered the daughters, delivered both of them. Here's Obama and Marty Nesbitt. How do they know each other? Going all the way back. Well, could they be connected through the gay bathhouse in Chicago, Man's Country? Obama has a lot of shady connections through there. So the question is, could the Nesbitt be lending their daughters out to the Obamas for photo ops, and they pretend to be the Obama daughters? Why? Because the Obama daughters, two men can't have a baby. Here's some supporting evidence. Ready? Two men cannot produce a baby. Look at Michelle Obama. She looks like she could bench press Obama with one hand. All right, these are two men. Ask Joan Rivers. Michelle Obama is a tranny. These are two men. They can't have daughters of their own. Michelle Obama has no clue what year she got married to Obama. Watch Michelle Obama fumble. She doesn't know what decade she got married. Ready?
What's your question?
How long have you been with Barack Obama?
We been married? 20-something years. Wait, somebody, you guys know the date. When was it? It's been over a decade. It's been a while.
You just watched Michelle Obama narrow down her own wedding year to a 20-year window. She's pretty sure she got married sometime during that 20-year window. Plus, Obama's Hawaii birth certificate is totally forged, as we prove right here.
Loretta Fuddy, the state of Hawaii's public health director, died in a plane crash earlier this week, and she was the only one to die of the 9 people on board the small plane that went down off the coast of Molokai, Hawaii. Loretta Fuddy was the woman who certified President Obama's long-form birth certificate, saying that it was authentic.
Those passengers don't know it yet, but they are seconds away from experiencing the worst fear of every air traveler. Suddenly, the alarm sounds. The plane is going down, spiraling into the ocean. A mad scramble as water fills the inside of the plane. Survivors going for the exits. Clinging to anything they can get their hands on.
Oh, you gotta put it on first before you put it. You gotta put it on first. Everybody okay?
Throughout the 3-minute ordeal, Ferdinand Fuentes' camera never stops rolling, even as the plane begins to sink into the ocean.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Our special guest is an internet researcher, a wife, mother, just a tremendous person. Goes by the internet moniker of Butter the Zillion. Now, folks, if you go to HomelandSecurityUS.com, our home base, on the right-hand side, we did a little bit of revamping here, a little bit of changing things around, but on the right-hand side, under tonight's Night on the Hagmann and Hagmann Report, you'll find a link directly to her website. It'll say guest hour 2 internet researcher Butter D. Zillion. And you might think, wow, who's that? Well, let me tell you, as a detective, I've been a detective for 28 years in the private sector. I've known researchers, investigators, people who have done a lot of work in many areas, but rarely have I ever seen a person without formal training do what Butter D. Zillion has done, and that is to investigate the heck out of an incident, specifically that of the mysterious downing of the plane carrying Loretta Fuddy. Well, why is this important? Loretta Fuddy authenticated the long-form birth certificate of Barack Hussein Obama. Why is that important? Because Barack Hussein Obama may not be eligible to hold the office of the President of the United States. Well, why is that important? Well, this brings questions about his allegiance. Who is he allied to? Where does his allegiance lie if he's not an American citizen, or if he doesn't conform to the ability to be constitutionally eligible to be President of the United States? Well, isn't it interesting that days after we had Doug Vogt on, Doug Vogt had filed an affidavit in the Northwest with the court naming Loretta Fuddy as a person who was involved in the fraud or the perpetration of a fraudulent document, that being the certificate of live birth. And she was placed into, Loretta Fuddy was placed in the position of the directorship of the Department of Health in Hawaii. That's kind of the backstory. Butter D. Zillion was onto the eligibility issue, onto Obama, Barry Soetoro, whatever you want to call him, right from day one. Did a lot of research. You can go to her blog. So it's linked right off of our website. Her blog, of course, is butterdzillion.wordpress.com. It's full of information. The archives are just rich of data. And on the front page, of course, there are photographs. Now, and also a narrative. Under the photograph is an important narrative which you've got to read, because on December 11th, 2013, Cessna carrying the Hawaiian Health Director, Loretta Fuddy, made a water landing, and of course, we are told that Ms. Fuddy is no longer with us. She was a passenger of a plane, the sole fatality, and it just happened to be Loretta Fuddy. So with that, and with much, I'm just so grateful because Butter D. Zillion agreed to come on at a moment's notice, and she's a very busy lady. But with that, I want to bring her on. Welcome, ma'am, to the Hagmann and Hagmann Report.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for welcoming me on.
Well, just to give people an understanding of what's going on here, you have been just really asking for documents, official documents from the various governmental agencies, including but not limited to the Hawaii Department of Health. I've got a PDF here. Let's see here. To the State of Hawaii Department of Health, Office of Health Status Monitoring, and so on and so forth. I mean, you've made requests for government documents, government records.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we at with the investigation here? Just lay it out for us, if you can.
Well, sure. Like you said, I have requested a lot of documents. I've requested documents from the Coast Guard. I've requested documents from the Maui County Fire Department. I've requested documents from the U.S. Navy. I've requested documents from the Maui County Police Department. I requested documents from the Federal Aviation Administration. I've documents from the Department of Health, just all kinds of documents. And I've gotten some of those. It's been like pulling teeth trying to get any response. I've had a lot of crazy shenanigans in trying to get these documents. But I have gotten some of the documents. I've gotten the fire department's CAD report or CAD transcript and their incident report. I've gotten information from the Navy. I've gotten the U.S. Coast Guard case report. With that, and with those reports that I've got, there are major discrepancies between those reports, and between what's in those reports and what was told to the media. And so, on just about every major point on the story, there is some kind of discrepancy in the records, so that we don't know how the crash was discovered. The accounts of that don't make sense. We don't know who found Loretta Fuddy. We don't know who picked Loretta Fuddy out of the water. We don't know what condition she was in when she was found. We don't know who transported her, when or where. Every major, we don't know how many people. We don't know how many people the official. Well, we kind of know how many people the official reports say were rescued from the water, and it's not the number that they want us to believe, because in their reports they account for at least 11 that they pulled out of the water, and there were only supposed to have been 9 there.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and there are references to more that were not pulled out of the water. I mean, there were references to additional people who swam ashore, and they're just, the numbers have never added up. The stories have never added up, and every detail of it, they're just contradictions galore.
Exactly, folks. And let me explain. We have well, of course, folks, the regular listeners from him coming on, inside information from an intelligence point of view. He understands completely what's going on here with respect to the government, with respect to the government's hiding information. But some information, it's kind of like government, they're trying to put their fingers in the holes of numerous holes in this dike. And Butter Gazillion is coming along and saying, hey, give me that document, let me have that document, let me have this one, and they're unable to plug all of the holes. So single-handedly, this brilliant internet researcher, Butter Gazillion, is got the government on the ropes in terms of exposing the contradictions. And isn't it funny, folks, that well, not funny, but isn't it ironic that, and sad, too, that everything surrounding Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Soetoro, whatever his name really is, and his mother, and those around him, screams the CIA, screams contradiction, screams the fact that we are a captive operation. So what we are attempting to do with Butter Gazillion spearheading this investigation is to collect as much and as many documents as possible in order to present and to, well, especially to preserve the evidence as it is right now, because this does appear to be a criminal case that we're looking at here with Loretta Fuddy and the plane crash. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I would. There was definitely stuff that was going on there that was beyond what any of the reports want us to believe what was going on there. And I had reported earlier regarding the video, Ferdinand Puentes' video, and the extra people that you can see in the water there. And it's evident that the people who were there were watching what was going on and know that the story that we've been given is not accurate, and they have covered that up. The reports that I've gotten thus far have been, there are problems with it, even when you don't look real closely at it. There are problems. For instance, the fire department's report came to me cut and pasted together, which is not a very smart thing to do when you're talking about a CAD transcript where every line has a timestamp on it, and the timestamps were out of order, so you could see that they took one section and put it in a different place to try to hide what was the beginning of the report and what was the end of the report, and probably to hide that at the end of the report there was the claim that the Coast Guard had one person in critical condition on in their helicopter. And so, that record that they were given, it was very blatantly cut and pasted together. when I asked them about it, they said, we didn't cut and paste it. I said, wait a minute, the timestamps are right there. You can see it's cut and pasted together. And they still denied that they had done anything to that CAD transcript. One of the reports by I think it was by the fire chief, actually had referred to another report, and I had asked to see that other report, and I was told, oh, that report doesn't exist. Well, why did they refer to it if it doesn't exist? Oh, it doesn't exist. And that's just one of the ways that they have done things, and the reports are geared towards covering things up. So there are a lot of people who know things that happen that they are not willing to tell, and they're willing to manipulate the records in order to try to hide that. One of the things in the Coast Guard report is that the Coast Guard refers to other aircraft that were there that didn't make it into the other stories. And one of the things that they did is that they referred to the Seahawk that was there, the Navy Seahawk that was there, as Easy Rider 33. And all over the place they refer to it as that. But the Coast Guard also refers to Bullet 45, which is the call sign for an F-18. So they've got information in there that would seem to indicate that there was an F-18 there, and that sure doesn't fit any of the stories we've been told. So those are the kinds of things that come up, and they raise questions, and the people who are putting these reports out there, it just seems that they're definitely hiding things.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.